Young Leo lived in a quiet town where the biggest adventures usually involved exploring the creek behind his house or climbing the old oak tree in the park. His parents were kind and loving, but they didn't go to church like some of the other families in town. One sunny Sunday morning, however, everything changed. "Leo," his mother said, her eyes twinkling, "we think it's time you explored a bit about faith. Go out, find a church, any church you like, and see what it's all about." Leo's eyes widened. He'd never been inside a church. His father helped him put on a crisp, slightly too big suit jacket and a tie that felt a little tight around his neck. He looked at himself in the mirror, a serious little man ready for an unknown mission. His mission began with a walk down the street. It wasn't long before he saw his first church, a vibrant building with a sign that read Evergreen Community Church. Inside, people clapped their hands and sang loudly, and a man at the front spoke with great passion, his voice rising and falling. Leo tried to follow along, but the words felt big and confusing. He just sat, wide-eyed, trying to understand what was happening. After the Evergreen Community Church, Leo continued his journey. Just a few blocks away, he found a more traditional-looking building with First Baptist Church etched above its grand wooden doors. Inside, the atmosphere was different. The singing was slower, the hymns echoing beautifully through the high ceilings. A stern-faced man in a robe stood behind a large pulpit, delivering a sermon about sin and redemption. Leo listened intently, but again the words felt like a foreign language. He watched as people around him nodded solemnly, but he just felt a growing sense of bewilderment. He tried to mimic their serious expressions, but it was hard when he didn't quite grasp why everyone looked so serious. Still determined, Leo walked on until he reached the grandest church he'd seen all day, with tall spires and stained glass windows depicting colorful saints. This was St. Mary's Catholic Church. As he slipped into a pew, he noticed everyone was standing, so he stood too. Then, moments later, everyone knelt on little padded benches. Leo quickly kneeled, bumping his knees a little. Then they stood again. This cycle of standing, kneeling, and standing again continued throughout the service, leaving Leo completely confused. He had no idea when to do what and just tried to follow the movements of the person in front of him, feeling more like he was playing a strange game of Simon Says than attending a service. The smells of incense and the sounds of bells added to his growing bewilderment. Finally, the last service ended, and Leo politely collected a small Bible and a stack of colorful brochures from the welcoming ladies at the church doors. His head was spinning with all the new sights, sounds, and rituals. He walked home slowly, the heavy Bible clutched in one hand, the brochures fanning out in the other. When he pushed open his front door, the house was quiet. His parents weren't home. With a sigh of relief, he kicked off his shiny church shoes and peeled off the stiff suit and tie. He quickly changed into his favorite play clothes, comfy shorts and a t-shirt, and felt a little more like himself again. The sun was still high, and with nothing else to do, Leo decided to go for a launder. He ambled through familiar streets, past the park, and then, almost without realizing it, found himself walking a path that led up into the nearby mountains, where the trees grew thick and green. Deeper into the forest he went, the air growing cooler and smelling of pine and damp earth. He was so engrossed in kicking at loose pebbles and watching a squirrel scamper up a tree that he almost missed it. A small, peaceful building nestled amongst the ancient trees, unlike any church he had seen that day. It had a quiet, serene look with a curved roof and soft, earthy colors. He crept closer, his curiosity piqued. Peeking around a large oak, he saw figures in saffron robes moving calmly inside through an open doorway. He carefully edged his way to a window and peered in. Several men with shaven heads sat on cushions, their faces calm and smiling as they quietly chanted. It was so different from the churches. There was a gentle rhythm, no loud music, no confusing standing and kneeling. One of the monks, with kind eyes and a gentle smile, looked up and spotted Leo. Instead of being startled or stern, his smile widened and he gestured for Leo to come closer. Hesitantly, Leo stepped inside the quiet monastery. Immediately, he felt a sense of calm wash over him. The monks seemed delighted to have a young visitor. They didn't ask him to stand or kneel or try to explain big, confusing words. Instead, they offered him a warm bowl of rice and vegetables, which tasted incredibly good after his long day. They told him stories, not of sin and rules, but of compassion and wisdom, their voices soft and soothing. Leo listened, captivated. Then one of the monks led him to a large, gleaming brass gong in the corner. "Would you like to try?" he asked with a chuckle. Leo's eyes lit up. He took the mallet and with a small grunt struck the gong. A deep, resonant bong filled the air, vibrating through his chest. He giggled and the monks chuckled with him. The little monastery filled with soft laughter and happy sounds. For the first time all day, Leo felt completely at ease, a warm and joyful feeling blossoming in his heart. It felt like coming home.